Greetings all, and welcome back to Globbits Gaming Channel. It's time for episode 4 of the Chronicles of DERP, which is my series that I've sort of invented out of the blue after that one shot at the Hellcat I did. I think it was in episode 3. We're back again with the King of DERP. This is Die, 9500. He's one of mine. He's platooned up with Ian Goodison and Slaughter J from my lot. The Globbs clan. Tier 6s in a Tier 8 game. It's 5 Tier 8s on each team. We're on Ruinberg on fire. And why did I pick this particular video? Well, basically for a team performance and also to illustrate something else about the KV2 that I didn't mention in the review. This tank can't survive on its own. I tend to play this tank very much as a supporting heavy, or if you're in a platoon, you can mutually support each other. Which basically what that means is, when I'm firing my gun, one of my teammates can cover me while I reload. Now, this is going to be a brilliant example in this game of what we actually mean by this. Now, Die takes a position on this corner here. Now, this is a really good corner for hull down tanks. Now, the KV2 isn't a hull down tank, but you can minimise what the enemy can actually shoot at and then get back into cover very, very quickly. Now, this, if you're in a T29, for example, or a T32, or something of hull down nature, that position is very, very strong. Now, the shot went in from the Bishop, piloted, or driven, piloted, I'm walking it out, by Slaughter J, and the team worked really, really cohesively in this game. They've got this IS-3 basically tracked. Now, what I mean by supporting heavy, Die's doing the damage, and these Carnarvons, driven by Gillon and Khrushchev, actually do really, really well here. They work as a pair and they keep this guy perma-tracked. They can't damage him effectively from the position they're in, but it gives Die a chance to reload. And they're basically perma-tracking him. The IS can't actually hit them effectively. Just waiting for Die to reload. And basically he's going for the weak spots, taking 400 chunks out of a Tier 8. Again, DERP don't care. Now, this is going to go on for a while, so it gives me an opportunity to mention something that has been... I've been asked a few questions on this. Chronicles of DERP. Does it have to be KV2? The replays that you send in? No, it doesn't. Basically, for me, if it's a good derpy game, what I mean by a derpy game is basically a game in a tank that utilises what we class as a derp gun. For example, the T40 uses a 105. Panzer IV using the 105. Any derp gun tank, it doesn't have to be a KV2. However, you will get best results from KV2. Don't get me wrong. Just to pause the game, well, not pause the game, just to take a bit of a look. Out of the 5 kills of the enemy friendly team, my lot have done 3 of them already. So they're doing really, really well. Ian's got 2, taking out the mediums and the guys in the crossroads, and even Slaughter's got 1 in the Bishop. That in itself is an achievement. Now, this is where the tables change. Now, Die decides to push. Now, this is where the KV2 is out of its depth. KV2s don't lead the charge, in my personal opinion. This isn't a mere criticism of his player in any way, shape or form, but I tend to do this as well. And this is one of the learning curves you need to learn with the KV2. You struggle to do this. He gets a Hellcat in front of him, and the Hellcat's scurrying away. And okay, fair enough, that guy's going to come back again. Basically, the M6 stock, he knows he's coming. He uses the long-range camera there, the zoom-out camera, to get him. The M6 hits him, alright, and he shoots at the M6. Now, this is where it could have gone problematic for Die. He's got 2 tanks firing at him. Now, if these guys had been a little bit better, maybe, I hasten to use the word less noobish, but if they'd been a little bit better, then they probably would have capitalised on this and actually killed him and focused him down. But he has got support from the Sturmer and Meal, the Panzer FL, whatever it's called, 5 thing. That managed to take out the Hellcat, and I think the M6 donks his next shot. I don't know what this guy was firing at this time. I think he might have destroyed his turret control, and he gets support from the Carnarvons. While it's getting supported, the KV2 is very strong, and Die recognises that in chat. If you see down the bottom in chat, he actually says thank you to those guys, and quite rightly too, because they saved him. I don't think he would have reloaded. If that M6 had not been stock, I think it would have been a different outcome. So that's to highlight something for me about the KV2, and it's just basically a clean-up operation now. If HE actually penetrates though, it can do monstrous damage. Just like that. And look at that. Executed. Absolutely executed those two tanks. That mutual supporting fire could not have come at a better time from the Bishop and Rams outbossing there. So this is a tier 8 game. My guys in tier 6s have managed over a third of the enemy kills. That's definitely GG, boys. Well done. Let's look at the post-game stats from Die's perspective. That was a pretty badass game. Okay. It was on a ×5 before you start having hissy fits, okay? Divide those numbers by 5 and that would have been the standard battle result. But 160,000 credits, what a game to have as your ×5. It's always nice when you get these special weekends and you basically have a monster game like that. Now, you can't see it on the WoT Replays link, unfortunately, but this is one thing you need to do when you look at your KV2, when you look at your battle result screen. Look at how much module damage you do to the enemies, as well as the actual physical damage that you do. I believe he wrecked that IS-3 with those HE shots he was firing at it. So KV2 is a support tank. Definitely a support tank. On its own, you can pick it apart. It's got the reload of artillery. I mean, Die's tank has 23-second reload. I know artillery that shoot quicker than that. So on your own, not so great. But if you get yourself in a nice little platoon, or you actually have some mutual support from your team, which is very rare in randoms, you can do excellently well. Just to put it in perspective, if you want your mastery badge on your KV2, you're going to need to get around about 1500 base experience, which was a clear 600 above anyone else on his team. Really, really, really good game. But shout out to everybody else as well. Ian Goodison in his 3485, 2000 damage in a tier 6 medium in a tier 8 game. Slaughter in his Bishop, which is a notoriously shit tank, 800 damage. That's not bad. I'd be happy with that in Bud. Netting 2 kills as well. Ian netted himself 3 kills, and Die took a second one, the 6th one, to do over a third of the enemy kills. Not a bad effort at all. And the tank's quite cheap to run as well, cheap to fix. The ammunition doesn't cost that much, really. For 8 shots fired, it's only going to cost you 6,400 credits. A clear 150,000 credit profit on that game. So, there is installment number 4 of the Chronicles of DERP. If you've got any DERPy replays, send them in. I do watch every single replay as best I can, and if I think it fits the bill and gives me something to talk about, I will use it. The series is in its infancy. I'm going to try another video again soon, alright, but I'm going to leave it for a while. I've got some other ones to do. I don't want the next patch to come out before I get a chance to do the rest of the videos I've got in my to-do file. So, yeah, Chronicles of DERP. Send me your DERP replays. Take care of yourselves. I'll catch you next time, guys. Bye now.